Welcome back to the program, guys. I'm Gino Santa Rosa. The 5 biggest lies about moving to Florida, busted for 2025. That's what this episode's all about. So if you can, before I begin, click subscribe, hit that bell, and smash that like button. Let's get right into it. I think you've been lied to about moving to Florida. It's not automatically cheap, insurance isn't that impossible, and it's not just for retirees. And one missed fee can blow up your monthly costs. I'm gonna bust those myths with real South Florida numbers and show you the exact plays my clients are using right now. If you stick around till the end, I'll walk you through a 30-day insurance discount stack, the HOA and hidden CDD trap that burns most newcomers, and a negotiation shift you can use today. By the end, you'll know how to budget, insure, and negotiate smarter so you can actually win here in South Florida without nasty surprises after you close. Myth number 1, Florida's still cheap and affordable. Florida's lack of state income tax is great, of course, but it can create false confidence. People arriving here think, well, Florida's cheap, then taxes reset to the purchase price, insurance reflects wind and flood risks, and HOA dues or CDD that surprises everybody, those assessments show up like another monthly bill. The sticker price isn't the cost of living, your monthly fees is what matters most. The thing most people miss here is how fast two similar looking homes can diverge once you layer in taxes, insurance, HOA, or condo dues reserves. Then you get utilities, maintenance fees, and on and on and on. Newer planned communities often have community development districts, which are CDDs, financing roads, utilities, and amenities. That's what it's all about. A CDD is a special purpose local district created by a developer and approved by the county or state to fund big infrastructure up front. Things like roads, water and sewer lines, drainage, street lighting, and community amenities. The district sells bonds to pay for that work, and homeowners within the boundaries repay those bonds over time through an annual assessment. You don't pay it at closing like a one-time fee, by the way. It shows up on your property tax bill each year as a separate line and functions like another payment until the bonds are completely paid off. Some CDDs also include ongoing operations and maintenance for shared amenities. With most new developments, they do have the CDD charge, so beware when you go into a sales office. So here's the right move. Build your budget off total monthly costs, not just the mortgage. That's PD, plus association dues, reserve contributions, realistic insurance after mitigation, utilities, commuting, and a maintenance set aside. If you're making it your primary, go ahead and file for homestead so your assessed value grows more slowly going forward. But just remember, your taxes still reset to your purchase price, so build your budget from that number. Here are things to watch like a hawk. Your apples to apples monthly, not just principal and interest. HOA and condo reserves, and any approved or likely special assessments. Any CDD assessments on the tax bill get the bond amount, interest rate, annual assessments breakdown, bond versus operations maintenance, payoff schedule, and maturity date, all very important to know. Insurance quotes also are tied to current 4-point and wind mitigation reports. Do your due diligence, utility averages for that property type and size, and commuting costs if you're not remote. You should definitely look into future tax trajectory with and without homestead and the reset after you buy. Now here's a budget shock that changes minds. A $600,000 condo and a $600,000 single family can defer by $600 to $1,000 per month after you add condo dues and reserves versus a house's higher insurance and maintenance. Townhomes often sit in the middle, but only if the association is properly funded. Roof responsibility is clear and there's no CDD stacking onto the tax bill. Read the signals, not the hype. Pull the last 12 months of HOA budgets and minutes, reserve studies, any engineering, the insurance summary, and pending assessments. Ask for the CDD disclosure ahead of time, bond amortization table, annual assessment breakdown, bond versus O&M, and any early payoff options through the tax collector. If you skip this, you will be gambling. Here's a buyer playbook that actually works. But before I get into that, click subscribe, hit that bell, and smash that like button. Take a picture of that QR code, fill in your information, and just say interested, and I'll send you that black book. Now back to the program. Here's a buyer playbook that works. Order a 4-point and wind mitigation early so carriers can quote real numbers. Request all association docs during inspection, budgets, reserves, minutes, engineering rules, litigation, insurance, plus any CDD schedule and maturity. Model 3 scenarios: base payment, post-mitigation insurance, and with any known assessments or CDD line. Use seller credits and rate buydowns to hit your target payment without overstretching yourselves. Let's get into myth number 2. Insurance is unaffordable and impossible. Now you've seen the headlines for sure. Here's the part they skip. Carriers price risk, not fear. You control a lot by documenting the house the right way. Roof age and type, roof to wall connections, opening protection on every window and door, elevation, distance to the coast, and the exact reports you hand over, those move the price. If your data is old or missing, carriers assume the worst. So we flip the script here. In the first 30 days, we stack credits fast. Start with 2 documents, a current 4-point and a wind mitigation report. Make sure the wind mitigation report confirms clips or straps, nail patterns, a secondary water barrier if present, and impact protection on all openings, including the garage and side doors. Partial protection leaves money on the table. Here's a 30-day discount stack that works. Wind mitigation credits. You verify clips and straps, decking nails, secondary water barrier, and full opening protection. No gaps. Just get an inspector in and they'll help you out. Roof tune-up or replacement. Document underlayment, nail pattern, and permits. A newer code roof can be your biggest lever. Let's get into some impact upgrades. Full impact glass or approved shutters on every opening, windows and doors, and the garage, all or nothing. Policy bundling. Home and auto with the same carrier often carves a meaningful percentage you save in the end. Water protections. Leak sensors and automatic shutoff systems can earn credits with some carriers and reduce loss events. Annual re-rate. After upgrades, refresh your mitigation report and re-quote. Now shop like a pro. Here's a good thing. Use an independent broker who can pull multiple carriers. Compare apples to apples, dwelling coverage, ordinance and law, water backup, personal property, and loss of use. Ask for 3 scenarios: current state, post-mitigation, and post-roof. And then reshop all of this 2 months before renewal on your calendar so you never get stuck. Citizens versus private carriers. Citizens can be a fit when private quotes are high or unavailable, but know the trade-offs, eligibility rules, coverage differences, and potential assessments. If a private option becomes competitive after your upgrades, consider moving your coverage. Here's some common mistakes I see often. Submitting quotes without a current 4-point and wind mitigation report. Thinking most windows have shutters counts, every opening, guys, must be protected. Ignoring roof documentation, permits, or nail patterns. Underinsuring ordinance and law in older homes, and picking a deductible you can't actually cover. Just to show you how this plays out, a buyer in Boca saw a rough first quote. We grabbed the fresh wind mitigation, documented their impact doors, and confirmed roof deck nailing from a recent repair. Their re-rate came back much lower, same house, better data. Over the next month, line up your 4-point and wind mitigation, make sure every opening is protected, consider a roof tune-up, bundle with auto, and pick a deductible you can actually cover. Then re-quote with multiple carriers. Once those numbers are real, the rest of your budget gets a lot easier and your offers get stronger. Let's get into myth number 3. Florida's only for retirees. That stereotype is pretty outdated, wouldn't you say? Under 40 buyers are moving here for jobs, airports, and year-round lifestyle. Finance, healthcare, logistics, creative, and remote tech all have real teams on the ground, so don't filter by age, filter by fit. Start with My Fit framework. Commute, schools, lifestyle, and once you lock those in, the right neighborhood usually picks itself. If your office is in Brickell or Edgewater or Wynwood, you're trading space for time. High-rise living with impact glasses, doorman, gyms, and walkability all score high. Yes, the HOA is higher here, but it replaces a separate gym membership, long commutes, and extra car costs. You've got restaurants nearby, coffee shops, you got your gym in the building. All of this saves you time in the end. Okay, now if schools and commerce streets matter, you should look west and north. You can look at Boca Raton, Parkland, Weston, Coral Springs. Single-family homes here have backyards, youth sports, and less vertical living. Insurance here depends on roof age and opening protection. Newer code homes cost more upfront, but can lower your monthly through mitigation credits and fewer surprises. If you want coastal energy without Miami pricing, you should definitely check out Fort Lauderdale and Delray, which gives you walkable pockets near beaches and restaurants. The trade-off obviously is rules. Condo associations vary on reserves, rentals, guest parking, and renovations. Due diligence decides your monthly, not just the list price here. And that's why read budgets and minutes before we fall in love with the lobby. Here's some things people miss. Condo versus single family isn't just a purchase price, Stack condo dues and reserves against a house's insurance, utilities, and maintenance. Sometimes the condo wins by eliminating car expenses and gym costs for sure, but sometimes the house wins because the HOA is low and the roofs are newer. You're not guessing here, you're modeling two different monthly ecosystems, so make sure you do that before you make a move. If I had to pick somewhere, this is what I would do. I would try simple 3-3-3 rule. 3 lifestyle priorities, 3 must-haves, and 3 deal breakers. Then you map it out. You got Brickell, Edgewater, Wynwood for walkability, Boca, Parkland, Weston, Coral Springs for schools and single family, Fort Lauderdale and Delray for coastal feel, and once your fit is clear, we'll target specific buildings and blocks that match your budget and maintenance comfort. Myth number 4, climate change will sink Florida. Codes, resilience, and risk pricing. Florida has wind and flood exposure, and yes, it's all priced in, but you're not powerless here. Carriers reward resilience, and so do the buyers. The thing most people miss here is that code and mitigation often matter more than just a year built. A well-retrofitted 1995 home can outperform a newer one with mediocre upgrades. Here's the resilience stack that actually moves the needle, risks, and premiums. Elevation. Higher finished floor elevation and pockets on natural ridges reduce the flood risk. There's a property called Marina Landings in Fort Lauderdale where the developer actually built 7 feet above sea level. These are the type of places I show my clients all the time. But let's talk about openings, because openings is a big thing. Impact rated windows and doors on every opening, including side doors and the garage, close insurance gaps and keep water out. Roof systems, clips or straps, proper deck nailing, and a secondary water barrier can unlock major wind credits. Drainage, gutters that flow, downspouts that push water away, and swales that drain, and yard inlets that aren't clogged. Now, if you're moving waterfront, a healthy seawall with recent inspections always counts. Power and water protectors, whole home surge protection and leak detection reduce loss events and make underwriters more comfortable. You can evaluate risk like a pro. Ask for a flood zone letter and an elevation certificate. If you can, walk the lot right after rain and watch where the water sits. Also, you should confirm full opening protection. If the roof lacks a secondary water barrier or the nail pattern isn't documented, that's either a negotiation chip or an upgrade you planned and priced. Now, if you're flexible, you can slightly go inland or target higher ground inside the same city. Micro elevation can change your insurance quote street by street. Here's some common mistakes a lot of people make. They trust FEMA's color block, skipping the elevation certificate, underinsuring flood, ignoring grading, and failing to document mitigation. Don't do that. Price the upgrades, negotiate seller credits, and hand your broker clean data so carriers see the real house, not a generic risk. Before you write an offer, you should pull a quick resilience checklist. I love to do that all the time. Elevation certificate, wind mitigation, 4-point opening protection, verified of course, roof documentation, drainage photos, and seawall notes if you're waterfront. Share it with your broker early so quotes can reflect the actual house, not assumptions. Myth number 5, but before I get into that, please smash that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date with all my latest episodes. Myth number 5, hidden costs and HOA nightmares. Transparency beats surprise. Surprises happen when buyers skip the documents or assume the seller's monthly is their monthly. Your real monthly is PITI plus HOA or condo dues, reserve contributions, utilities, routine maintenance, and a capital set aside for big items. If there's a community development district CDD on the tax bill, that functions like another monthly line as I mentioned previously. Now, some CDDs also charge a smaller ongoing operations and maintenance component to run the common areas. Taxes need clarity. If it's your primary, file homestead to tap Save Our Homes and slow assessed value growth. If you're coming from out of state, don't use the seller's current tax number. Recalculate from your purchase price and include any CDD line back into the tax bill. HOA and condo due diligence is not an option here. Ask for minutes, budgets, reserve studies, engineering reports, the insurance summary, a litigation letter, rules and regulations, the estoppel, pending assessment notices, and if applicable, the CDD schedule with maturity and payoff options. It's all about hunting for red flags, deferred maintenance, thin reserves, litigation that spikes insurance, and rule changes that affect rentals, pets, parking, or renovations. In condos, full reserve funding adds stability, and older buildings shifting to full reserves may see temporary fee increases. So you have to model that all in. Now, most buildings have the 30-40 year recertification program already in check. Some buildings are still paying and some buildings are not. So make sure that the HOA has paid it in full before you get involved in a condo, or your HOA fees will go through the roof. Now, negotiation options definitely exist. If there's a known assessment, ask for a seller credit or a price adjustment. If dues are about to reset, time closing after the new budget is final. Roof near end of the life? Price insurance impact and negotiation accordingly. Sellers who lead with transparency attract stronger buyers and close cleaner. Now, real example here. We reviewed a spotless townhome in a master plan community and caught a CDD line plus a road resurfacing assessment in the minutes. With dates and amounts confirmed, we negotiated credits that kept the monthly fee on target. Use a simple 10-document check, budget reserves, last 12 months of minutes, engineering, insurance summary, estoppel, rules, pending assessments, litigation letter, and the latest reserve study, plus any CDD disclosure with payoff details. If the numbers don't fit, pivot to a better run association or a different property entirely. In conclusion, here's a key takeaway. Run your real monthly, stack insurance credits fast, prioritize resilient homes, and read HOA and CDD docs before you fall in love. That's how you win here in South Florida without surprises. If you want my exact tools, grab the Florida Buyer's Guide here by scanning that QR code and I'll send you my top picks here in South Florida. We'll wrap things up here today and I hope you enjoyed this episode. We are going to get into more episodes just like this one, so click on the screen above. I'll see you next time. I'm Gino Santa Rosa from North to South Realty. Thanks for watching.